All right, you guys, we got a couple more examples here. This is the mathematical way of taking a couple points that would be on a graph, and we want to deal with the diagonals. And what we learned about today is that the diagonals of a parallelogram cut each other in half, so they bisect each other. So that means we are going to be what is called looking for, and I'm going to put a text in here. And let's see if we do this way. So we want to do that. We want to be, so the diagonal of the parallel, they bisect each other at the intersection point. So we're going to type in intersection point is the midpoint. Okay, midpoint. So if we wanted to do it that way, we could change the font a little bit bigger. It doesn't show it that way. So if we did this, let me see if it changes the font so we can see this a little bit better. There we go. If we stretch it out that way. So the intersection is the midpoint, okay? So if we got a midpoint, therefore that means we are going to have to do a formula, and I'm going to draw this in here because it's probably easier to do that than it is to write it in there. So when we talk about the midpoint formula, so we're going to talk about going like this. So the formula is, where if you guys remember, it's going to be x1 plus x2, okay? And then we're going to divide this whole thing by 2, and that's the first coordinate. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go y1 plus y2, all divided by 2, and that's what it would give our coordinates of, okay? So when that's the case, we're going to take two of them, and what we want to do is we want to specifically apply, let's do a color blue. We're going to apply the opposite, so we would take probably M and P because they are every other one. So if we do that, we're going to plug them in here, and we're going to sit there and say that this is x1, this is x2. I want to say this one, y1. I apologize. I want to change that out. Okay, so this is going to be y1, and this is going to be x2, and this is y2. Now, we don't have to do it to both of them, but we're going to just go ahead and plug these in here. So let's go ahead and go -3 plus 5, and we're going to divide that by 2. That's our x version. And then we're going to take 0, and we're going to add it, and we're going to add it to 4, and I'm going to divide that by 2 as well. So -3 plus 5 is going to give us a +2 over 2. Okay, and I've got to put this in parentheses up here. Okay, and then 0 plus 4 is 4, divided by 2 is going to give me what? It's going to give me 4 over 2. Okay, and then we can reduce these fractions if we can. That's going to give me a 1, comma 2. So that's our midpoint. And that's where we find out what the midpoint is of that whole thing. And did we answer the question, what are the coordinates of the intersection of diagonals of the parallelogram? And we did find it. So this would be our answer. Okay. We could have done it graphically if we wanted to, but it probably would have taken a little bit longer to do that. The only hard thing about doing the mathematic part is we forget to which ones we're adding and subtracting, and sometimes we take the same numbers like -3 and 0 and add them together as opposed to the 1, x, and the first one and that one. We should, if we would have taken the n and the r and done the same thing, we should have came up with the same exact answer. So I hope that helps you guys out and gives you an idea of what we're doing, and we'll go from there. All right.